Yo YouTube, it's your boy Roy Jadong here, back at it with another review. I want to go through all the mice I've been using for the past 10 years and also give my thoughts on all of them and how long I've used each of these mice. So let's start with, actually not this one, but the one in the middle. This is the Razer Death Adder mouse, I think version 1, so I've been a long time user of this mouse for gaming, for work, and it's pretty nice with, I have a relatively large hand and it fits very nice. I'm not going to go into the specs or anything. I'm just going to share my thoughts on each of the mouse and my personal experience and usage. I really like the braided cable. It makes tangling, or rather untangling it, much easier. Very smooth, very clicky, and very nice. I've used this for almost 8-ish years, and then at some point I switched to this Dell mouse. It was just much smaller profile. It just came with a Dell desktop, and it's a lot more portable. And I would just bring this to the office, and this is my mouse. And for both of these mice, I actually didn't have an issue using them a lot. Basically, I would use this bone right here as a pivot, and I would move the mouse like this. And I actually didn't have any hand or wrist issues when using these mice, but I think with time and with age, starting last year, I started feeling it in my hand, and I currently feel it in my ring and pinky finger. I'm pretty sure it's cubital tunnel syndrome, and that's what prompted me to get the Glove 80 keyboard, this split keyboard. And I figured if I'm going to go all out for this crazy keyboard, I might as well go all out for a mouse too, because using these mice started to hurt when I felt numbing or tingling in my ring and pinky fingers. If I actually leaned on this pivot, it would cause some pain and some discomfort. So first I started with this Logitech vertical MX mouse. Highly recommended across all the reviews I've seen online for its ergonomics and encouraging not to move your wrist, but to move your whole arm and shoulder when moving the mouse. It was okay. I think for regular carpal tunnel or just regular ergonomic issues, I think this is a great mouse, but it just wasn't for me. The main issue was I was still moving my wrist like this for small movements, which couldn't get me used to moving the mouse in this motion and not moving my wrist. And also, I would be leaning my hand on the table, and that would put some pressure and weight on my pinky and ring finger, and that wasn't uncomfortable, especially when I was getting discomfort in this area. So after using this for a couple weeks, I said no more. I just couldn't handle the, not necessarily pain, but it definitely wasn't as comfortable as I thought it would be. If I was hovering, so hovering my hand over the table, then it is a bit comfortable, but in the end, just wasn't a fit for me. And that's what prompted me to find this Handshoe Mouse Shift. This is made by some small European company. And what I was really looking for is something where I can rest my ring and pinky finger. And a lot of the ergonomic mice nowadays, such as I've seen a bunch of Razer and other gaming companies' hardware, and they would have basically some platform on the thumb side of the mouse and sometimes a little edge here to rest your thumb and your ring and pinky fingers, but I found those mice to be a little bit too small. So this one basically went all out, and its motto is similar to the Glove 80, where it's supposed to fit your hand like a glove, and it definitely does. This is actually quite, I've only had it for a week, so I'm definitely going to have a follow-up review of this mouse, but so far so good. It's quite comfortable using it. I'm still facing tingliness in my ring and pinky finger, and I'll have another video kind of describing my journey there, and hopefully in 3 or 6 months or over, when that pain diminishes, I'll have another follow-up video of my process and how I hopefully will be healed from that eventually. But for this mouse particularly, I've had it for a week, and The main difference between all the other mouse is while using it, I don't feel discomfort or tingliness on the ring and pinky fingers, mainly because I'm not putting any added pressure or weight on it. I'm basically having this very natural, neutral position using the mouse and just moving it as so. And this one is very hard to move with just your wrist. The accuracy is not great. So this really, and especially if I put my weight on the palm or the middle of my hand, similar to the keyboard with these palm rests, it really encourages me to relearn how to use a mouse and use my whole arm and shoulder to move it. One of the drawbacks is definitely the size. As you can see, you definitely need some space, or you need to reduce the sensitivity so you can really work with the shoulder movements and arm movements. But otherwise, really like so far. Both of these mouse, the vertical and the horseshoe mouse, are wireless or Bluetooth. 3 buttons on the bottom: power, enable Bluetooth, and left or right. So this mouse is ambidextrous, so you can kind of shift it the other way if you're a lefty. And then I also read online, which I might tinker with, is some people train themselves to use their mouse with their left hand, so it kind of splits the load, so you're not overloading one hand versus the other when using your computer mouse. That being said, very comfortable so far. We'll definitely have a follow-up review on if it actually helps or not in the long run. So far I am feeling a lot more, not necessarily discomfort, but definitely some strain on my index finger, just clicking on the mouse a lot. I don't know if it's because of this kind of position of my hand, or do I need to go back a little bit or forward, but I'll play around the positions. But in terms of my ring and pinky fingers while using this mouse, zero discomfort while using it, so I'm very satisfied about that. Anyway, that is it for my review of the Handshoe Mouse Shift, and I will catch y'all next time. Peace!